My name's Avaes Mohammad, and I'm the researcher and project manager at a think tank called British Future. I'm really excited to be sharing as a case point the British South Asian Bridges project. Obviously, we live in a time of quite concern where there is report after report from think tanks like ours warning us about the state of cohesion and division in the country. And in our most latest research, we find that that's true. I'm really pleased to be working on a project that's about bringing communities together with that as a backdrop. And we're focused particularly on the British South Asian community in this because there's a legacy and there's a heritage of connectedness between these communities, which sadly has been lost over some decades. And the loss of that heritage of connectedness, I think, has manifested in unsavoury moments like the Leicester riots, for example, a couple of years ago. So I want to present what we're doing with the British South Asian Bridges project as a model that can be rolled out across other communities too. It doesn't have to remain just within South Asians. So what's touched me is, I think, the generational, because I'm of a generation that remembers a connected South Asian heritage. We were just talking about the DNA, but at that time in the 90s, basically before anything 9/11, anything and everything was South Asian, whether it was a Sikh thing or a Muslim thing or a Hindu thing. We all kind of owned it in a way. It spoke to all of us in Britain. And so of the older generations, when we talk about the connectedness, it's easier to sell. But I'm kind of touched also by how the younger generations also want it, despite not having seen it, and recognise that there's a need for it. So I'm certainly touched by that. And I'm touched by just the great, breadth and depth of that we've reached in our network. We've got people who have led theatre companies. We've got people who are actors and have been for decades shaping that culture. We've got academics, we've got activists, we've got business people. I'm very lucky. I'm touched every day really by the talent that we have in our WhatsApp group. We're very fortunate. We have a long relationship with AFSA. And colleagues of mine here have spoken at this conference before. And I think, given that I'm working particularly on the British South Asian Bridges project, they thought that it would be worth my while coming here and speaking. I think what you're already doing at AFSA by calling it the Asian Fire Service Association and creating a program that speaks to that audience, but also speaks, outside of that audience. I think that's quite cutting edge, actually. I don't think there's many organisations that are able to do that. So for something as distinct and unique as a fire service association to be able to manage that, there's something to learn there from national institutions. For national institutions to learn from that model. So I think what AFSA is doing is really important because it's not an internal conversation. It's a conversation that's relevant for both at the same time. And that programming is really clever and absolutely needed in today's time.